Hey, what's up, you guys? So I want to talk about my goodness. You guys might see certain features that are just out of respect for y'all, so y'all don't have to watch a video that you can't see me. But I want to talk about, as a matter of fact, I might be able to just hang it up so I ain't got to hold the phone. I want to talk about, I ain't going to do all that. I want to talk about some of the hardships and things that I go through out here being homeless. A lot of people, when they're making videos about their homelessness, I have not seen too many videos of people who have taken spiritual responsibility, and because of that, they've ended up isolated from the rest of society, even their families. For y'all that are into the Bible, it is the old saying of, if you walk with God and you have a spiritual purpose on this planet, you will not have friends. Not to say you won't have any, but it's going to be damn hard to have legitimate, strong, supportive friends that will stick with you, even though, because a lot of what I do when I, just speak in general, is that if you're, when I've made comments to Ruby, when me and Ruby are talking and I make comments about her, I make comments such as, the world is going backwards. The world has been going backwards for about 75 years. And being that it's going backwards, nothing is getting better. Nothing. Not movies, not entertainment, not clothes, not spiritual things, none of this. Religion, none of it. None of it's getting better. Oh boy, this light is killing me. But with that being the case, I can't flash that in my face no more. Hell, I can't even blink. With that being the case, it makes it very difficult to gauge whether a person is homeless because they want to be, or because that's just the way life, that's just the position that life put them in. So for myself, like I said, I've taken a certain level of spiritual responsibility that have put me in this position. I'm not in this position as much as I believe because I've done people wrong. I'm not in this position because I'm on drugs. I'm not in this position because I don't want to go to work or anything like that. No. I've mastered the physical plane, so everything that happens to me is spiritual, meaning I can't put my hands on it. I can't change it. I have to just deal with it. And that's very hard, because it keeps you kind of confused between, are you doing the right thing and are you doing the wrong things, and things like that. So let's just run through this laundry list. The first thing I could think of is my clothes. I've had to sacrifice a lot of clothes. I had a decent amount of clothes, above average amount, and I was using one of my friend's trucks here in the parking lot of Walmart to keep a lot of my, my suitcase and things that I really wasn't using on a daily basis to keep in his truck. Now, he warned me that, hey, CJ, they're going to come get the truck, and, just make sure you give me back the keys and all of this stuff so they can, not bother me about anything else. Well, one day, I think after almost 10 months, I walked to the parking lot one day to get some things, and the truck was gone. So we're talking family pictures. We're talking, all types of things, things that I drew in high school, and all types of things that are just, it held value to me. And I had to just cut bait with it. Again, spiritual. I had nothing. There was nothing I could do about that. And I just chuckled because when I used to live in Jacinto City, but not for that long, I was caught up out there with a guy who sold me the opportunity to come out there and, pay and have somewhere to live. And, it was just entirely too far from work. And being that it was too far from work, when I got to work and I couldn't get back to the house, I had to just part ways with an entire backpack full of stuff. The clippers my father gave me, all types of hygiene products and underwear, socks, shoes, all types of stuff. Had to just forget about it, because there was no way that I could get that stuff back. I've had to use a lot of my clothes to clean up certain things. Animal urine, animal just the mess that animals make. I've had to sacrifice t-shirts, underwear, jackets, hoodies, because once I lost my job, I want to be honest and transparent. Once I got fired from my job for taking food on my lunch break, didn't pay for it. It made everything that much more difficult, as it should have been for my decision. When you say, well, that's not spiritual, it's not. That was a fleshly decision to just say, man, fuck this, bro. Like, I'm already mad because I can't dig into the app that allows you to take money out of your next check, but we're gonna have to wait 4 weeks for a check because it's income tax time, it's Christmas time, and they just want you to get the whole check in a lump sum, which was like $630 something for me. And sorry for the video being extended past 5 minutes, but that was what I had to do. A lot of clothes had to go unattended, in which when I finally had to dig in these bags, I was always wondering, like, why are these gnats in my damn tent? I don't have, at first I thought they were attracted to urine, when I'm pissing in the bottle, because you don't want to go outside and risk mosquitoes getting in, so you just piss in a bottle. And I'm thinking that they're just attracted to the moisture, that smell. So I've tried all these different concoctions, from orange peels, lemon juice, and Dawn mixed with sugar and detergent. I've done all these things. And it wasn't until I went into that container and took out all of those clothes, and a lot of them were molded and just ruined. Because I left them unattended for so long. And because when you're hand washing clothes, you're not gonna hand wash 15 pair of pants, 20 shirts, 15 pair of drawers. You're not doing all of that. The blisters and all of that from wringing them out and all of that stuff gets just very irritating. And so, not to mention where the hell you're gonna dry them. So a lot of clothes have been sacrificed, for the betterment of my hygiene and keeping this place relatively decent. Because the wear and tear is a motherfucker, man. Things just find a way to just deteriorate. You could stay in this tent all day with a rag and a bottle of goddamn disinfectant and hammers and nails. Things will find a way to tear down. That's just the disgusting thing about life in some ways, that things just nothing lasts forever. And so a lot of clothes I've had to get rid of. Now, see, the spiritual part of that is that there was a lady that I told you guys that was looking for a dog one day. I don't fool with people. I see a lot of people walk past my tent, because the area that they have to walk through is real muddy. If it rained like it did here recently, ain't nobody walking past that tent. And so this day, there was a lady banging on some pan and whistling and all that. I said, hey, ma'am, are you looking for a dog or something? She said, yeah. Ever since then, we've had a relationship where she's basically helped me replace every single thing I've lost. Shorts, socks, drawers, pants. And these are clothes that were given to me by somebody who was middle to upper class. This is a person who rode Continental. This is a person who worked for the airlines for 30 years, Continental Airlines. So I'm getting all types of like travel kits and all this stuff. I mean, it was just it was just unbelievable. Unbelievable. You know, because if she never showed her face, I would be forced to have to wear a lot of clothes that would irritate my skin because they're not fully washed. No matter how much I wring them out, no matter how hot I boil them or anything like that, they're not getting all of that dirt out. So it's gonna cause itching and all this other stuff on my skin. And so, yeah, the clothes and a lot of the material has been replaced. Yeah, so other sacrifices that I've had to make when it comes to food. You can't keep food all day. When you can't refrigerate your food, you have about a 2-day window, especially if it's something like, I told you guys, I showed you the video of me cooking that pork. You know, I just threw the last little hunk of pork away. Big, decent sized pork, but I couldn't, you know, that you know, especially with me walking all night long and it's just sitting here in the tent, it became unedible. You know, even if I could have eaten it, I'm not eating it. I'm just paranoid. So a lot of things you have to learn how to save or eat in like 1 or 2 sittings, because, you know, you just don't want a lot of food sitting around that could attract, you know, bugs. And so, yeah, the food aspect, you know, I haven't thrown away a lot of food because a lot of the things I get are from the food bank, canned goods. Bread lasts for a while. So I've never really looked at something and was like, well, gotta throw it away, you know. But that was, you know, pretty much the extent of like sacrifices with food, that you just, some food you just gotta hurry up and eat. You know, they gave me a pound, well, not a pound, sorry. They gave me a package of bacon, and they always ask you at the food bank, can you afford like to keep this stuff? We don't want to be giving you stuff that you're just gonna have to throw away. And I always tell them like, nah, I'm good. All I gotta do is buy some ice. And I'm lying, because I know that whatever you're giving me in frozen form, it's gonna have to be cooked very soon, even if I don't want to cook it. You know, I have a burner, a Coleman burner here for $10. And although it does last me a long time, that's still fuel that I don't want to use on cooking certain things, because things like rice, pork, bacon, hell, in some sense, that stuff takes a while. And I don't like that thing running all day, like just you know, past 20 minutes is just too long. So when I'm making stuff like rice and everything, I have to make that stuff on a open campfire, you know. And yeah, you will taste that charred, burnt stick, whatever the hell you want to call it, but you know, that's why you got salt and pepper and just, you know, whatever, being really hungry. So another thing that I've had to sacrifice was blankets. A lot of pillows, a lot of blankets, a lot of sheets have been thrown in the trash because they get ruined. You know, the pets, rain, water that seeps into the tent, you know, those blankets got to go, you know. And again, if it wasn't for a lady at Walmart, I would not have no blanket to cover my body at night, because the one before that, I think I left it behind somewhere because I couldn't afford to take it. And it was this was a blanket that was passed down from like, shit, probably 20 years, 25 years of that blanket. My brother used that blanket. I mean, it was just a relic, you know. And another thing I've had to sacrifice is my entertainment. Now, that's split between two things, because it is impossible for me to wake up or doing what I'm doing now. I'm just laying down. I didn't turn my bed into like a hospital bed so that I'm not falling asleep or trying to fall asleep, but I'm not wide awake. So I'm just kind of like propped up right in the middle, to just give, talking to the, to the mic and stuff like that. So, but when you have bug problems, okay, the tent has had wear and tear on it to the point where, from all of the moving and all of these different things, holes have been created and water seeps through, and you will have a puddle of water somewhere or two, and you got to take care of this stuff. The longest I've let a puddle sit was damn near like 2 weeks, because it was so much water and the ant problem that I wasn't going to sacrifice no more. You know how many dry off towels that I've had to sacrifice? I've probably spent conservatively, what, $50 in towels, either to actually bathe my body or, dry off, and use them to the point where something will happen and I'm like, God damn it, bro, I gotta sacrifice the towel so I can clean up the floor. So that's another thing you have to sacrifice, is a lot of the towels you use in your entertainment being interfered by a bigger problem. Just when you think you want to sit down and have fun and relax and all of that, and you look around, you like, how the hell that spider get in here? How the hell that get in here? And you got to get up and find out where it came from, patch it up. I saw something run across the floor just probably about an hour ago, and I'm like, what the hell was that? I don't know if I'm tripping or if it's a bug just under my bed. I have no idea. I gotta check it though. My paranoia. Another thing you must sacrifice, I'm gonna say you must, but another thing I've had to sacrifice is like hygiene items, okay? When I'm outside taking baths and stuff like that, a lot of this stuff has to do with time. So you don't want to really spend too much time butt naked, because the mosquitoes will find a way to get 30 seconds out of your blood, which will cause just this itch that is sometimes will leave a scab, because you're itching so, especially around your ankles, that thin skin. Oh man, I don't know how many times I've looked at my ankles like, when the hell did I scratch? Like, when did I like cut myself right there? No, it's just the aggressive itching after a mosquito sucking on you. It gets very annoying. So a lot of these products, if I can't put my bathing soap in a towel, wrap it up and sit it to the side or something like that, a lot of this soap and stuff, just, not to mention if I'm using the soap and I quote unquote drop the soap will fall right into a pile of dirt, and now the soap is ruined. So these are things that I'd have to just watch go away. And again, going to the food bank and this lady taking care of me, I have more soap than I could ever imagine. But that does come into play with the whole staying clean, is that, a lot of these products are outside, and it may just be laziness on my part, but it is what it is. I mean, I try to put the soap back into the container or whatever it comes in, and really preserve it. But for the most part, I try to get done with bathing as soon as possible, so I can get my ass inside and dry off. So like right now, I got the clothes that I got rained on last night, they're just hanging up outside. Now see, that's what I said, that's sacrifice that I have to make, because what am I going to do with those clothes? I have to just wait on the weather to be decent enough to dry them off, so I can put them in a bag and write them off as dirty and just clean them when I get a chance. I can't, go and just stick them in the dryer and just take all the rainwater. No, man, they have to just hang up so that they're not balled up somewhere attracting bugs and stinking, So I've had to sacrifice quite a bit. My time gets taken where just when I want to do this, I have to go do that, and I have to. There is no ifs, ands, buts about it. As much as I try to improvise and I may procrastinate and stuff like that, at the end of the day, I got to get it done or I'll be screwed. And I go to about 25 minutes. And what else have I had to sacrifice? I have to sacrifice my body. You know, a lot of people, you know, especially, you know, what's her name? Ruby just said it, you know, yesterday. She's like, why, bro, you don't have to do no push-ups or nothing, nigga. Like, you fine. You don't need no muscle build or no muscle growth or whatever. And then she was like, well, you know, considering all the stuff that you do, the carrying, the pushing and the pulling and all that, I was like, exactly. You never know how weak you are until you have to do something that requires you to have strength and stamina and endurance, muscular endurance. You know, walking with wet clothes, carrying a basket long distances, a backpack on my back with more stuff in it than I really would like to have. You have to make sure that pull-ups, push-ups, sit-ups, and air squats, which I don't air squat because I walk so much. These are things that strengthen your body and your core. So, you know, when I have to fill up my water and stuff like that, this 5-gallon shower thing, that thing's pretty damn heavy. And I don't want to run the risk of hurting my shoulder or spraining my wrist trying to get it, you know, from the basket to the tree, you know, hanging up on the tree. Now I have to go get the other 10-gallon, the 10-gallon jug. You know, those little clear blue jug that you fill up, you can refill them up and stuff like that. Filling that whole thing up, then having to take it out the basket, walk very, you know, carefully to make sure I don't slip and fall. That you know, that takes some strength, man. Especially like right now. Hell, I slipped and caught myself in a way that if I was 38, 39, 40 years old, ain't no doubt about it, I would have fucked something up. My reflexes is just off the chart where I caught myself real quick with my fist. But I'm thinking to myself, good Lord, if I don't keep up the exercise and all these things, that's a done data. I would have hurt something so bad where I would have had to just kind of stay bedbound. So the sacrifice of bodily improvement, it's a mug. I've had to sacrifice let's see. I've had to sacrifice some things for the betterment of more space. You know, some things you look around and like, bro, I don't need this in this tent. There's a big old chair outside, you know, that I found, like a lounge chair or whatever, but it's just too big to have inside, so it has to stay outside. This is why I made this like little hospital bed or whatever, because my back is killing me, man. All of that walking last night really defeated me. It defeated me. I'm very exhausted, tired, and I think I'm suffering because on my way to bed, I took 2 migraine pills, 2 blues for the sinuses, and then I took 3 ibuprofen. It's a lot of pills. And that ibuprofen is what just had me just sluggish all day. You know, the weather even complimented the way I felt with just rain and nastiness and all of these things like that. So what's the next step? The next step is to hopefully get a job here at McDonald's, and everything is predicated on a job. You know, the job is connected to your morale, and when you have good morale, you're able to just kind of fight through a lot of the things that normally you wouldn't fight through. And you know, I really do put my best foot forward every single day, even if I don't want to. I do it anyway. I didn't even feel like making this video, but again, it's therapeutic to know that, okay, oh yeah, I made a video talking about that. It's out of my system. Anything else I think about from this point forward is brand new. Because I tell you now, this 25-minute video, I'd have just been talking to myself out loud, like, and then I'd have done it so many times to the point where it just becomes insane. So thank y'all for listening to me, man. I'm out.